that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you are happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Woohoo! All right, everybody happy.
Oh my gosh, I was just hoping we'd continue with the dance party. That would be awesome. Oh my gosh. Mark and Judy, you're officially handing it over. You're going to hang out and dance and bring up the music again.
We will dance and hang out with you. You got it. Take it away.
Thank you, Mark and Judy Willitson. Many of you don't know any of us, right? Except your friends that you're on with. Mark and Judy are at the beginning of the culture that was formed here that they designed for us.
The happy culture.
And it is the happy culture. I mean, where else can you go and have this much fun? And we're supposed to, this is work? What kind of work is this? It's too much fun. So we really want to say to the founders of our culture, Mark and Judy Willitson, thank you from the bottom to the top of our hearts, that we can be in a community of people like minds that are building big businesses, global businesses, having fun, loving each other, supporting each other, like for real, for real. This is the real deal, and be able to elevate each other. We are a team, we work together. I've learned so much from this team. I've grown so much from this group of people, and we just want to welcome all of our guests here tonight because we're excited you're here, because if you catch the vision that we caught now 2 years ago for us, it is definitely going to be the changing day of your life. I'm Carmela, this is my husband, Peter.
Isn't she wonderful?
Is he referencing the dancing? I don't know about that.
You didn't see me up dancing. Anyway, yeah, we're so super excited about this tonight. And, just briefly, our story. I've been in this industry for over 20 years, and I caught a vision way back of time and money, and more time and more money. And what was described to me is that have more money and then more time to utilize it. So that was the vision. And you know what? In that time, I've been with a number of companies, and it never quite gelled because what would happen is we'd have great products, all right? And but it was always hey, I know somebody who knew somebody who had a friend once who had a profound experience, all right? Good products, but again, those profound experiences were far and few between. So we kind of all go with the same story, all right?
Different here, however.
Completely different here.
Oh, yes. You're going to hear tonight how different it really is.
And the thing is, yeah, tonight you're going to hear, firsthand experiences. So anyway, and then the other piece of this is that, in my previous experience, I had some success. All right. But what we had companies where it was very tough to break even, let alone, cash flow positively, and the thing is that here it's completely different. And in that you can start here with a pretty small investment, I mean, a minuscule investment compared to
Amazing.
any other business that I know of. And you can cash flow positively, first month or two, which is just unheard of. And I think of my own experience. I have a business, a martial arts school, and I've been very, very diligent about cash flowing positively, right? And so I'm thinking, I got some class, got some students, they're paying me
Right.
money and all that stuff, and then forgetting about the 5 years of training just to get my black belt, let alone the 2 years trying to figure out how to teach a vehicle in strange places, and that's a time for a different story. But
Yeah.
I mean, time intensive, money intensive, and so there was no time and money. So we have something here that's just unbelievable, because not only have we been able to win, we've been able to help a whole bunch of other people
Yes.
do the same thing, because it's so simple. It's so just profoundly simple. And then all we got to do is share a cup of coffee. And if we do that, if we share it, we will experience giving coffee to somebody who comes back and says, "Oh my God, my life has changed." It's not only life changing, you'll hear tonight, they're life-saving products, all right? And so we're just so super excited to be here. And then one last thing about this, the time and money thing. It was a couple of months ago, this lockdown's been really tough on our special needs son, PJ. He's 19 years old. He's kind of in between school and not school and working and all this stuff. And we realized that because of this business, we can spend all the time he needs. And he needs a lot of time, all right? And we can spend that time with him without worrying about, is the electricity going to turn off, or, all this other stuff.
Right, the
because-
basics, we can provide day to day for him
Yeah.
and still fit this big business into our life. So what's interesting about our company is happy. We share stories, we share happiness, we share a great product, we share a great opportunity. And since we're all about sharing, tonight you're going to hear from a couple of people who are sharing their actual real life stories. And they are a part of our life, they're a part of our happy family, and we know these people. And one of the people will share their experience that actually happened right before our eyes. So why are you hearing stories? Because this is what we do. You drink the coffee, you have an experience, you share your story, you help someone else buy the coffee. That in essence is this business. It is that simple, right? It's super. So if you are hearing something tonight that resonates with you, whether it's better health, wealth, you want the kind of freedom that Peter and I are talking about experiencing with our son, there's something in someone's story that resonates with you, this is possible for you too. That's why we're doing this tonight, and why we're excited, because we're all happiness ambassadors, and we're just hoping to bring in more happiness ambassadors. We each build our own business, right? We can build. If you say no, we can still build. If you say yes, we help you build. And I love that platform. Our first guest tonight is near and dear to me. I lovingly call her sister. I think we're cut from the same cloth, but she had an experience that happened right before our very eyes, and she's now forever a part of our journey here in our legacy company and home for us forever at the Happy Co. Jen Kay, I'm so happy you're sharing, my girl. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. First off, I want to just say a big shout out to Miss Kristen there working out during this. Nice job. Wow, impressive. But yeah, so my experience with Happy Coffee basically started with COVID and the crisis that it caused for me. And I think that just as big as the pandemic has been as far as people's health, even more so, I think mental illness was really hit hard. And so there's so many people that just suffered because of that isolation and job loss that comes with a lot of that stuff. And so that's what happened for me. I've been, as soon as the crisis hit, I was furloughed, and then I was actually terminated from my job of 7.5 years which was a great job and I was happy with it. So that was June 1st. And at first, you know, I think a lot of people appreciated that little bit of break and being at home and like, hey, I've got some freedom. I've got, you know, a little unemployment cash coming in. There's an extra $600 a week, you know, that whole thing. But eventually that kind of faded out. And I really felt kind of just this pressure to get back into the job field. And I was just having a real struggle with it. And so as time passed, my depression started kind of building up. And I have actually been somebody who for 30 years have suffered from depression. And that's been just always kind of that devil on my shoulder. And so I know it always had existed. As a matter of fact, had been taking antidepressant drugs. For anybody who's curious, if you can take the nootropics with antidepressants, I had been taking these all through the years. But even with taking that, I'm telling you, I just started to spiral downward and I couldn't pull myself out. And just to kind of share the story straight through, the week before Thanksgiving, I had reached a point in my depression where I just didn't want to live anymore. And so that's, you know, I was just thinking, I don't want to live. Okay, fine. What do I do with that? So, you know, I'm old enough, I guess wise enough where I try to shake myself out of it and do some positive things. I'm trying to look for a job. And the Monday before Thanksgiving, something changed. And where the week before I had determined that I didn't want to live anymore, I remember distinctly sitting in my garage on that Monday before Thanksgiving thinking, you know what? I had a mental shift. Instead of not wanting to live, I think I'm just actually gonna figure out how to do this. I probably should just figure out how to just get it done with. And I'm a mom, married happily with my husband and 3 boys. I've got a 16, 17, and a 21-year-old. And I just knew I was really in trouble because I recognized that mental shift that took place. I actually even made an agreement with my 21-year-old. I know some people might judge me for actually speaking to my 21-year-old son about my depression, but he also suffers from depression. And I said, can we just make an agreement, Spencer, that if one of us wanted to kill ourselves, that we would go to each other first? And he agreed. And so that took place. The very next day, I went to go have coffee with my aunt and my dad because I knew I was in such trouble. And I didn't even want to tell my dad, actually. And my dad's going to speak today too, Dave Johnson. I didn't even want to tell him. I told my aunt first about this mental shift and wanting to take myself out now. I'm thinking, you know, how do I do it? Do I hang myself? What do I do? And so when I was there, my dad was like, well, so what's really the problem? And I go, I need a job, Dad. I need to work. I don't know what to do. And he said, well, he says, I don't know if this is anything, but my friend Peter had given me this sample. It's actually right over there. And he points to, you know, a table, and I grab it, and he goes, so apparently this stuff's supposed to actually make you happier. And there's a job opportunity with it too. And I was like, okay. So we actually jumped on the phone with Peter and Carmela and had a conversation. And woo, after that, you know, we basically discussed a plan to get me some samples. They're going to send out some samples. And I thought that was fantastic. So I kind of began holding out this hope for this sample that was going to come. And I knew I needed to try it in order to promote it as a business, as a work solution for me. And I couldn't wait. And each day the mail came, I'm like, oh, I'm going to check the mail. Maybe it's going to be here today. Nope. And so I'm just trying to get through. Another day, Tuesday, nope, didn't arrive. Wednesday, didn't arrive. So after 3 straight days, me feeling in my head, like this is gonna come, I'm gonna be able to try this coffee. It's supposed to make me happier. I'm desperate. And then it didn't happen again. And I remember going to bed Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, and I was just so sad. And I'm like, gosh, I'm like, okay, and I know it's not coming tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving. So now I'm not going to get my sample tomorrow, you know? So how can this horrible depression get any worse? And I woke up at 7:30 in the morning, you guys, after just 4 hours of sleep. And I immediately started crying because I realized how I was feeling. And I'm like, this is not getting better. It's actually getting worse. And I literally, I checked in with my son and I cried, tears just coming down my face. And I said, Spencer, I go, this is it. I can't do it anymore. So I told him, I said, I am in a dark place and I don't know how to get out of it. And like I said, I just couldn't shake myself out of it. I bounced from my attached garage down to my detached garage, back up to my attached garage. And I'm looking at the rafters going, will that rafter be strong enough to hold me? And what do I use a rope or do I get some cords together? How do I do this? And I called some friends, I called some family, and I was blasting my Christian music so loud and just trying to sing through the tears because I'm like, God will rescue me. I just know it. He has to. And I still hadn't even told my husband how dark of a place I was in. And finally, my son went and grabbed my husband and made him come down to my garage. And he's like, what's going on? And I told him, and he was so much more supportive than I thought that he was going to be. But needless to say, I somehow kind of drew myself out to be able to be a person for Thanksgiving. And I was just on the edge of tears all day, all the next day. And so and my dad by this time knew too where I was at. And so Friday, I feel like it was the day after Thanksgiving, Carmela actually called to check in on me and said like, hey, like your stuff should be there by now. And I explained I was just in a horrible state. She tracked the number. She double checked the address. She said, this is your address, right? And I'm like, no. In my serious depression, I gave my own home address where I've lived for 8 years. I gave her the wrong address. That's how messed up mentally I was. I was just in such an awful place. I desperately needed help, and so miraculously, after making it through that weekend, we were able to make arrangements to go have coffee with Peter and Carmela. My dad and I went there Tuesday, and we're driving over there, and I'm like, God, I hope this helps. I hope this helps, because I was just in a dark, dark place. He and I both said, let's make an agreement that the whole business piece of it, if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it, and vice versa. Yeah, okay. So we sit down and we have our cup of coffee. Peter and Carmela, very humble. They're not talking about the business. They're not talking about the products. They aren't trying to sell me on anything. We're just having company. We're just visiting back and forth. And I cannot lie about this. No kidding, 30 minutes after having my first cup of coffee ever, I looked at my dad and I looked away. And I went, I don't know what's going on right now, but Dad, whatever you do, that's on you. I am doing this business. I feel like I'm back to myself. I am like a normal person. It literally just shook me right back to being the person that I know that I always was. And I will tell you this, anywhere that I have been a light that steps into a room. I've been the person of encouragement somewhere in the workplace. People look to me and feel happier because I just am smiling, I'm encouraging, I'm giving compliments. I'm that person. I wasn't that person. But this coffee, after that one cup, it brought me right back. And so that's why I decided to jump on this happy coffee train. And as a side effect, I've lost 10 pounds now since December 3rd.
Wow.
That's not even the reason why I care about it. So that's my story. And I will tell you, I've been taking it ever since. And it just gives me that extra energy every single day to just do life. I feel more productive. But the depression was really what I took it for and was hoping. And let me be clear, my hope comes from the Lord, really does. But I'll tell you what, the coffee helps get me there. So that's it.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Oh my gosh, to see that go down in our home, to see her face just completely change, to hear her say, I'm myself again from one cup. These profound stories are frequent. Even to hear someone say, I had enough energy and patience throughout my day is a big story to us. people from all walks of life, from lots of different stories. Now, I know we're trying to keep this to 30 minutes. Jen's story has impacted our lives on a great big scale, and maybe she's touched your heart too. One cup, be a customer, reach out to the person who brought you here tonight, buy some coffee for yourself, get going. Want to move on to,
You just
yeah.
make sure that we do that disclaimer thing that we got to do, is that these products don't treat or cure anything. They're not a drug. So this is a personal testimony. And
Yes.
so just so you know that.
We want to introduce you to Dominic. And good evening to you, Dominic. Dominic came to us by way of Jen, their friends, and he has a story to share. And Dominic, your story is powerful as well. And Dominic actually is quite motivational in speaking. We only have a few minutes with him. You'll want to hear more, so we'll leave you waiting and wanting more. Take it away, Dominic.
Hi there. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. But to understand how profound these products really are, you really have to understand where I came from. And I'm going to try really hard not to get emotional. Okay. So, long story short, at 3.5, I was taken away from my parents and thrown into the foster system. Okay. And I went in and out of 7 different foster homes and finally got adopted by a person who now I call my mom. And I got adopted into what I would consider another broken home. It wasn't, they still saved my life and I love them for that, but it was a very negative upbringing. And I was a very angry kid, and all of that changed 11 years ago when my son was born. And I knew I needed to make a change, and I seeked everything, right? Everything. I looked into all kinds of stuff. I tried all kinds of supplements. I even went as far as taking antidepressants myself. And scary things, those psychotropic drugs, because it landed me in the mental hospital for 11 days. And so I finally got out of that, and I read all kinds of self-help books, and just I'm like, I got to make a change in my life, right? Man in the mirror kind of stuff. And so me throughout this whole process, me discovering these feelings that I never had growing up, me and my wife grew apart. Okay. And 6 years ago, she left me, and like it was very hard. And on with the journey. And again, I got in all kinds of supplements. I've been taking supplements for longer than I can remember, right? I did the whole Thrive thing, did the capsules, the patch, everything, and nothing was really quite right. I mean, it gave me energy, everything was okay, took that for 5 years. And then Jen, God bless her heart, she reaches out to me. I've known Jen for a long time, probably one of my oldest friends, 15 years. And she reaches out to me and she's like, hey, have you heard about this Happy Coffee? And I had tried a coffee product before that claimed it had, these type of effects. And I'm like, yeah, I tried it. I didn't really like it. And she didn't give up. She's like, well, I know this will really help you. She knew the struggle that I went through. I know this will really help you. You sure you don't want to try it? No, I'm good. Thanks. And then one day I was just really had I've had ups and downs for a long time. Okay. One day I was just having my real lows, and she reached out to me again. And I'm like, you know what do I have to lose? Right? Go ahead and send it to me. And so she sends it to me, and I get it. And the first day, because I'm willing to try anything to get out of this rut, right? And the first day I drank the coffee, and all I remember was going up to take a shower, right? And I'm in the shower, and all of a sudden, I don't know how many people have seen that movie Limitless, when you swallow the pill and all of a sudden the lights get brighter and all these synapses start firing off. I had that moment. Okay. I had that moment, and I am just bawling. I'm just in tears, and these are tears of joy. Okay. These are tears of joy. And I call her up and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is in this stuff? Okay. this whole time, I mean, I had been into the law of attraction, helping coach others. You know, I've been in every type of sales job you can think of. I've been a corporate trainer. I've gotten up on stage and I've had those motivational sessions with a lot of different people. I have a marketing company myself. Intellectually, I understand what I need to do to get out of my own way. Chemically, I couldn't get there. There was something missing. And I got to a point where I had that aha moment, and every day since then has been this magical journey, this life of abundance, like this amazing energy. I love everybody. I can't, any person I talk to about this, I'm like, look, it's hard for me to explain it. This product, it's like love. You cannot explain it. You have to experience it. Okay. And ever since then, it's been this experience that has just, I've grown from. I'm so thankful and blessed to be a part of this community. And if you have any hesitation whatsoever, getting on here and you're not sure where to go, what should I do? Should I get involved in this? Don't waste another minute of your life. Jump in. You can't go wrong with this beautiful family that we have.
Thank you, Dominic.
Woo! Wow. You all are brave to share such personal stories, bringing us all to tears. So what is this all about? A business that can provide for families, sharing a cup of coffee, something we drink every day anyway. And this is how we grow business, by sharing stories. The first time I saw this blew me away. And we're still doing this today. We've been here 2 years. Our angel was Melissa Lucas, who is up in the on camera now with her precious Mila. Hi, Mila, baby. Hi, honey. And Melissa, who she introduced us to the coffee, and it was an absolute yes. It was a yes because along the way in our life, we've had financial devastation and said, when we get out of this, we're going to go help others. And we are way out of it and helping others. We try and keep these calls to a limit of 30 minutes to respect your time. You must be on here going, what in the world is happening? For all of you looking and watching, just at the end of this, reach out to the person that brought you here and say, I want to share the coffee, or I want to get some of that. Let them give you some samples, or order a tub, or buy a whole bunch, whatever you want. We're just about making you happy. I want to go to someone who has, he inspires me every time I even think of his voice. He's taught me so much in a little bit of time, a lot of really personal growth, and deepened my faith. He is known lovingly and famously as Santa Claus. He is actually Santa Claus, and he is in the Happy Coffee business. He is a part of the team. He's a part of our family, our personal family. And Dave,
And
can
I love to say, I just love to say, even Santa needs a side hustle. Come on, let's go.
Right? So as we are personally concerned with time, I do realize that Jen and Dominic's stories are incredibly powerful and resonating with us as we're sitting here, and I'm sure it is with you. So Dave, are there a few things that you feel are important for people to hear from your experience, because you had an experience with the product and you're having an experience with the business? All yours, Santa. Dave Johnson. I love this guy.
So, yeah, I guess the thing that I would say, my background is sales and marketing and business development. And I think with this business, the last thing that you want to do is take on an approach like you're trying to sell something. Because as you've just witnessed, you know, a personal experience is the thing that is going to sell this. People don't like to be sold things. And there's even a negative connotation for multi-level marketing. And Jen and I have both received, you know, some text messages regarding that. And it's like, okay, I just got to let that go. I can tell you that I never thought that I would be doing this. I have a ministry called Lost Sheep Ministries, and I come alongside people who are in the struggle with drugs and alcohol. And what this has afforded me is an opportunity to actually position this business as something that they can also take on. And a lot of these people are coming from backgrounds, you know, where they've been in and out of jail and prison. And so it's hard for them to get a job even. And so I'm trying to position this as a platform for you to be able to come in, just get started having a presence, introduce it to lots of people, and then watch your business just grow. And so that's exciting. Yeah, so I know that we're out of time, but Jen, I'm very proud of you. I mean, I wasn't planning on getting into this, but with her in it, there's a lot of people that know me, and it's like, okay, Jen, if you're going to do this, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to support you. And so did really well. The first month, Jen went 3 ranks the first month. And then January, I had 18 new customers. So that went well. But now it's like I'm focusing on, okay, how do I build this thing so that I don't have to be out there just creating customers all the time, that the people that I want to build up can actually be bringing in the customers with me. And so I think that's the way the business works. And I'm starting to get it. I'm still learning. And I'm just grateful for Peter and Carmela. And I love you guys. And, it does feel like family. And, it's just working. We're going to go to their house on Saturday with a bunch of people who have signed up for the business. Okay. I didn't say that. I didn't really say that. It just slipped out.
I'll talk to you later. Love you. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. This has been just amazing, because what we have here is something that, people are either going to say, man, I need to be part of this community, because, it's about love and about loving on each other.
Yes.
Side income, full-time income, and you know what? Come to the logical conclusion, man, you got to try this stuff.
Right.
You haven't tried this, it's full on. We are so blessed to have Melissa in our lives, Mark and Judy, Ricky, Jessica Durant, who reminded me today to brush my teeth before I went on Zoom.
So you can smile and have white teeth. You're on camera.
So anyway.
So I want to say, though, to everyone listening in tonight, thank you for gifting us with your presence and your time. And maybe one of the stories, something Dave said, or Jen, or Dominic, or that we said, really resonates with you, for you, or for someone else. Just connect with the person that brought you here. We're reaching out. We're seeing what the product and the business is doing for people. Do we want more happiness ambassadors? Yes, we're a very stable, publicly held company. We're very transparent. We speak our minds. Everyone is perfect just the way you are. You can see that we're from all different kinds of backgrounds. We have other things going on in our life. You'll fit in. If you feel like you'll fit in, call us, run, get in, do something. If you're not sure if it's a fit, you need to look around some more. We have tools where you can definitely look around. I'm going to thank Mark and Judy Willitson for crafting this culture of love. I know that came easy to you because that's how they operate. And we want to continue to be ambassadors of love. I want to give a shout out to Brian, who hopped on tonight, to Team Freedom. I'm glad you guys are here tonight, and to everyone from HappyCo. Thank you for being on, and to our guests, please get back with the person who brought you here tonight. Jennifer, Dave, and Dominic, you just filled my heart with love tonight. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
We'll see you all very soon. You can unmute. Can we unmute everybody?
Good night.
Love you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter,
Bye.
Dominic,
Bye,
Dave,
everyone.
and Dominic. Woohoo!
Thank you.
A
Good job,
happy
you guys.
show where everybody deserves to be happy. Good night, everybody.
Awesome.
Thank you.